3 Japanese companies you have never heard of are the only listed way to bet on humanoid robots. One of them, Harmonic Drive Systems, controls 85% of a critical component inside every Optimus, every Figure, every Apptronik Apollo. Tesla, Figure, OpenAI's 1X, Apptronik. 5 humanoid OEMs have raised over $15 billion combined. Combined, they have shipped fewer than 10,000 units. The visionaries make the announcements. Japan makes the cash flow. Here's the part that doesn't add up. The OEMs have the headlines and the valuations. The Japanese parts companies have the only thing that actually ships. Here's how this works. A Tesla Optimus has roughly 28 actuators on the body, plus about 50 more in the new Gen 3 hands. Each actuator combines an electric motor with a precision reducer, a high-ratio gearbox that converts the motor's high-speed, low-torque output into the low-speed, high-torque rotation a robot joint needs. Without these reducers, you cannot build a humanoid. They are not optional. Cost? Optimus Gen 2 BOM is $50,000 to $60,000 per robot. Tesla's published target at full scale is $20,000. Figure 02 costs over $100,000. Of that hardware bill, the actuators alone are between 30 and 51% of the total cost. This is where the money lives. 2 reducer technologies dominate. The harmonic reducer, also called a strain wave gear. Invented in 1957 by an American engineer at the United Shoe Machinery Corporation, then licensed to Japan, then quietly globalized into the precision reducer of choice for any joint that needs high accuracy in a small package. Surgical robots. Semiconductor wafer handlers. Space rovers. And now humanoid wrist, elbow, and shoulder joints. The cycloidal, or RV, reducer. Higher torque capacity, larger size, used in industrial robot hips and knees, automotive manufacturing arms, and the bigger humanoid leg joints. Inside one humanoid, roughly 14 harmonic reducers, 14 cycloidal or planetary reducers, 28 brushless DC motors. That is the bill. Multiply by 1 million units a year, and you understand why Japan is suddenly very interesting. Harmonic Drive Systems, ticker 6324 in Tokyo. The company. They invented the strain wave gear category. They control approximately 85% of the global strain wave reducer market. Annual revenue, 55.6 billion yen, roughly $350 million US. Just returned to profit after a difficult fiscal 2024. Harmonic Drive's reducers are inside every Tesla Optimus prototype, every surgical robot from Intuitive Surgical, every semiconductor wafer handling robot from Applied Materials, every space rover NASA has flown in 20 years. The only second source that scales is Sumitomo Heavy Industries, ticker 6302, with about 19% global share. Combined, the 2 Japanese companies hold roughly 95% of strain wave reducers worldwide. There is, in practice, no Western alternative at scale. There is exactly one credible Chinese challenger, Leader Drive, ticker 688017 in Shanghai. They supply Tesla, they price 30 to 40% below Harmonic Drive, and they are building a 500,000 unit per year plant just for Optimus. Same playbook as solar, EV, and electrolyzers. The China commoditization clock has just started. For now, Japan owns this. The cycloidal side is even more concentrated. Nabtesco, ticker 6268, controls roughly 60% of the global RV reducer market, the high-torque cycloidal reducer used in medium and large industrial robots. Fiscal 2025 revenue, 307.9 billion yen, up 9.8%. Operating income up 60% year over year. Nabtesco supplies the big 4 industrial robot OEMs, FANUC, Yaskawa, ABB, KUKA. They supply Estun in China. The company just reclassified its hydraulic business as discontinued operations and is doubling down on robot reducers and railway brakes. This is the picks and shovels of industrial automation, and now of humanoids. While the OEMs fight over headlines, Nabtesco's Q3 backlog hit records. Then there's Nidec, ticker 6594. 2.6 trillion yen, roughly $17.5 billion, in revenue. The largest brushless DC motor maker in the world. Here's what most people miss about Nidec. Their subsidiary Nidec Drive Technology has built a complete 6-axis humanoid actuator solution in-house. Their FlexWave strainwave gears compete directly with Harmonic Drive. Their Kinex gearboxes cover cycloidal applications. Motors and integrated drive electronics already shipping. They demonstrated the full stack at the International Robot Exhibition in November 2025. If Tesla, Figure, or Apptronik is looking to dual source away from Harmonic Drive Systems, Nidec is the most credible alternative, publicly traded, with 50 years of capital allocation discipline. The headline industrial robot makers, FANUC, Yaskawa, are also indirect plays. FANUC ran a 21% operating margin in fiscal 2025, the best in industrial robotics globally. Yaskawa Electric, ticker 6506, deserves its own beat. Yaskawa is one of the big four industrial robot makers. 537 billion yen in fiscal 2025 revenue. The interesting move, they acquired Tokyo Robotics, a humanoid actuator startup, and explicitly pivoted second-half 2026 R&D toward humanoid actuators. Operating profit guide for fiscal 2026, 60 billion yen, up 70%. If you are pivoting industrial-grade servomotor production capacity into humanoids, you are essentially building the actuator foundry that the venture-funded humanoid OEMs will eventually have to source from. The most underrated pivot in the entire space. 12 names you need to know. Reducer monopolists, Harmonic Drive Systems, 85% strainwave share. Sumitomo Heavy Industries, 19%. Nabtesco, 60% of Cycloidal. Motor and actuator giants, Nidec, Yaskawa Electric, FANUC. Western component plays, Regal Rexnord, owner of Kollmorgen and Portiscap, for frameless servomotors. Alliant for BLDC. China challengers, leader drive on the Shanghai Star Market, Tesla Optimus's primary harmonic supplier. Estun, China's largest industrial robot maker, with the Codroid 02 humanoid in small batch validation. Inovance, with industrial automation revenue up 25%. Sanhua, Tesla Optimus's sole actuator assembly supplier per Tesla chain reporting. The OEMs themselves, UBTECH on Hong Kong, the only listed pure-play, still loss-making. Hyundai for indirect Boston Dynamics exposure. So what about the actual humanoid OEMs? Tesla Optimus Gen 3 began low-volume production in Fremont in January 2026. Target 50,000 units this year, 1 million per year by end of 2026, 10 million per year out of Texas by 2027. Elon's targets, not analysts. Figure AI is at $39 billion post-money. Apptronik raised $935 million in February at a $5 billion valuation, with Mercedes-Benz, GXO, and John Deere as customers. 1X is OpenAI backed. The only listed pure-play with revenue, UBTECH, ticker 9880 in Hong Kong. 800 million yuan order book. Mass production of Walker S2 began in late 2025, but the company is still losing 790 million yuan a year. Goldman Sachs forecasts the humanoid market reaches $38 billion by 2035. Morgan Stanley says $5 trillion by 2050. The disagreement is enormous. The certainty, whatever volume happens, the actuators will be Japanese, for now. China is moving fast. 3 names to track. Leader Drive, the Tesla harmonic reducer supplier, is the front. They price 30 to 40% below Harmonic Drive Systems. Tesla's volume contract is the proof point. Estun Automation, ticker 002747 in Shenzhen, China's largest industrial robot maker. Return to profitability in 2025. Their Codroid 02 humanoid is in small batch customer validation. The first Chinese-listed pure-play to ship humanoid hardware. Inovance Technology, ticker 300124. Industrial Automation plus NEV servo drives. Year-to-date revenue up 25%. Long-term humanoid strategy explicitly in management commentary. Same story as solar, Japan invents, China commoditizes. The clock has started. Where does this go in the next 12 to 24 months? 3 signals. Tesla Optimus production rate. Currently low volume out of Fremont. target 50,000 units in 2026. Hit even half, Harmonic Drive Systems and Leader Drive both report record reducer orders. Stays sub 5,000, the entire humanoid component thesis pushes out by 1 year. Yaskawa's humanoid actuator product launch in second half 2026. Ship a credible humanoid-grade actuator at industrial tier pricing, Yaskawa becomes the dual-source story Tesla and Figure need. Slip, the Japanese reducer monopoly extends another year. Leader drives Shanghai star market revenue. Currently roughly 400 million RMB, doubles to 800 million in 2026 driven by Tesla volume, the China commoditization clock has begun. Stays flat, Japan keeps its 85% share. Catalysts up, Tesla Optimus production milestones, Apptronik or Figure secondary fundraising at higher valuations, China consumer humanoid breakout. Catalysts down, Optimus shipments slip into 2027, Western capital backing alternative reducer technologies, force torque sensor or battery breakthroughs that change the actuator architecture. Upstream, neodymium magnets, ball bearings, precision steel. Downstream, every factory, every warehouse, eventually every household. They sit downstream of these 12 companies. The visionaries make the announcements. The Japanese parts companies make the cash flow. I'm Big Z, follow me, see you in the next deep dive.